Warning, this video contains highly controversial information that as a parent with one or more children in your household between the ages of 1 and 9, the education system does not want you to know. This presentation helps thousands of parents each time it's shown. All the information in it is scientifically verified. Sarah Shepard is also in danger of losing her job as an English teacher for simply making parents aware that there's indeed a proven, guaranteed method that'll have your child reading better than children 2 to 4 years older than them. In light of all that, we cannot guarantee this video will remain up for long. So whatever you do, do not leave or refresh this page, as you may miss out forever.
Hi, I'm Sarah Shepard, an English teacher of 14 years, yet more importantly, just your run-of-the-mill wife and mother to an incredible family I'm proud to call my own. Let me introduce you to my husband, Dan, me, my sons Landon and Mason, daughter Ellie, and last but not least, our loving golden retriever Mia. I'd like to ask you a question. What if I told you there's a completely simple, proven, and effective method that'll have your child reading in just a few short moments from now? A method that's guaranteed to work for any child at any age, even as young as 2. Even if right now they can barely recite the alphabet correctly, even if they currently show absolutely zero interest in reading whatsoever, and is even so effective, it's been proven to prevent and reverse dyslexia in children completely. A powerful reading method absolutely different from anything else that's out there today, and that the school board has actually been hiding from you on purpose for years. I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. This method's been proven 100% effective, yet totally unknown to 99% of English teachers and parents around the country. What if this one hidden secret to teaching your child to read, when used for just a short period of time, will create a radical shift in the future outcome of your child's success in school and all-around quality of life forever? Did you know how successful your child becomes in life all comes down to these first few years? Teaching your child to read early on, right now, is a direct link to them getting an A on their first report card. Graduating high school with honors prepares them for an ultra-successful career and ensures a happy, fulfilling life. The undisputed truth is, every accomplished adult today was set on a path to success by their parents long ago. And it all starts with you teaching your child how to read at the earliest age possible. The most vital skill your child must master early on to be successful in life, more than any other, is their ability to read. Every leading educator, academic scholar, and parent with older children will agree with that statement. And frankly, only a fool or dreamer would dare to dispute it. I put a challenge before you. If you commit the next 6 minutes to this presentation, the most talked about presentation for parents online, if you just watch it carefully and do what it says, I promise you'll not only believe having your child read at such an early age is possible, you'll know that it's possible and scientific fact. Just how you know the Earth's in fact round, not flat, and travels around the sun each day. And then, only moments later, you'll begin the process of teaching your child to read words like you've never imagined possible, right here and now on this very website. That way, you won't just know it's true, you'll see the results with your very own eyes. Listen, you may be wondering, how can I speak about this with such confidence? After all, I know nothing of your child or their natural ability to learn whatsoever. The truth is, I don't have to. I don't have an ounce of doubt that your child will be reading clearly and with a deep understanding of every word they read, even for children as young as 2. I don't have an ounce of doubt about my claims, even though I've given my real name, and even though this is going out right now to hundreds of thousands of parents who'll hate me forever if I mislead them. I don't want that, and I still have no doubt about my claim. Why? Because when you see the sun come up 36,543 days in a row, you can be pretty darn confident it's coming up again tomorrow. 36,543 is exactly how many children have now successfully used this reading secret I'm about to share in just the past 2 years alone. In fact, while other parents are still reading books out loud to their children, your child will instead be reading the exact same books out loud to you. Just imagine it. You bring your child to the grocery store and watch people stop dead in their tracks, feeling utter disbelief as they watch your child reading signs out loud like broccoli, carrots, and even asparagus, all the way down the produce aisle. The looks you get from people as their jaws hit the floor are absolutely priceless. And you've never had so much fun with your child just doing simple things like shopping for groceries. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, Sarah, but seeing is believing. I'm about to share a video that'll shock, amaze, and even leave you a little jealous. You're about to meet Caleb, an 18-month-old whose mother used this exact reading system I'm about to reveal to have her child reading better than any 18-month-old you'll ever meet.
What does this say? Look at this. Look at that. What does that say? Bat. Okay, what if I put E at the end? Now what does it say?
Wait.
That's right. Good job. Yeah, that's right. What does that say? Okay, what if Daddy put wait, what if we put an E?
Mate.
Mate. Good job. Mat. Now it's Matt. And then now it's
Mate.
mate. And
Now, if you're a lot like me, you may be asking, this must be a naturally gifted child. Can I really expect these same results with my own child? It may surprise you to find out that Caleb's mom, in fact, came to me for help only 30 days before this video was shot. Worried about her son's delayed learning disability and completely skeptical that my system would even work at all. That's the reason I wanted to introduce you to Caleb here today. Not only because at 18 months, he now reads better than children 5 years older than he is, because I'm incredibly proud of the results Caleb achieved within just 30 short days after using my system. And to show you that if Caleb here can achieve this level of success so easily with his delayed learning disability, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind your child will read this brilliantly too. Just like your first impression here of Caleb, other parents will start to scratch their heads, wondering how your child is so much further along than theirs, chalking it up to your child must just be naturally gifted, and being secretly jealous, wishing their child could read as amazingly as yours. It'll be entertaining to decide if you should tell them you used my reading system, or just make this our little secret and let them keep scratching their heads. So now that you're acquainted a little with me, my reading system, and the type of results you can expect from using it, I feel comfortable sharing with you my personal story of how this system came to be and how you can start using it yourself in just a few short minutes from now. In fact, what I'm about to share with you was probably one of the most utterly embarrassing moments of my entire life. I remember it was a Friday evening, and I'd just gotten home from work. There, just laying before me, inside my son's open backpack, was a crinkled-up piece of paper that I've been excited to hold in my hands for months now. It was my son's first grade mid-year report card, finally laying there right in front of my very own eyes. Sure enough, my son was no place to be found. Never a good sign come report card day. As I flattened the crumpled report card smooth, you can probably guess directly where my eyes shot to first, seeing as I myself teach English. Just imagine the sheer horror I felt when I looked down and saw the words, English does not meet average expectations, leap off the page and instantly plunge me head first into deep depression. My child, the son of an English teacher, not passing English? Now that's just horrible. I wanted to go hide my head in the sand. I felt that this report card had less to do with how my child did in the classroom and more to do with how I'm raising him as a parent at home. That was 5 years ago now from today. And I can still feel the wave of sadness that washed over me every time a teacher at my school would ask how my son did on his report card. It was a nightmare, and even to this day, still leaves a giant lump in my throat telling you this now. Did you know, according to a study done just this year by the U.S. Department of Education, if your child does not meet the average literacy standards by the end of grade 1, they're now 88% more likely to keep falling further and further behind, all the way up to 4th grade. And just know this, researchers at the prestigious Yale University concluded that 75% of children who reached the 3rd grade with poor literacy become completely literate, not just right up until their very last year of high school, for their entire life. And with factual statistics like that, it's no wonder we see high school dropout rates as high as 66% in this country. The fact is, with this many children quietly falling through the cracks, it's now crucial more than ever to be actively teaching your child to read as early as you possibly can, not leaving your child's entire future and success in life up to the education system alone. Now, it's important to remember that often when a child fails in school, in nearly every case, it's not your fault. It's actually the education system that's failed your child. This could not be more true when it comes to the way schools teach English today. Let me share one little discovery I dug up. The school board doesn't want you to know. The same shocking piece of information the school board is doing everything in their power to stop me from shining a light on. Here it is. The English curriculum your child will be taught in school when they attend is the exact same curriculum your grandparents had been taught. First implemented in 1930, it's gone nearly unchanged for all these years. So, has it remained the same all this time because it works? When I learned the true answer to that question, it both shocked and angered me. The real reason English is still taught this way today? It all comes down to money, or the lack of, for that matter. You see, I've learned firsthand over my 14 years as an English teacher, when it comes to funding for our education system, the money's simply not there. That's why more than ever you hear in the news about endless teacher strikes or after-school programming being completely eliminated altogether. To entirely update and change the current English curriculum, it would take millions upon millions of dollars, millions that the school board will simply never agree to spend. The worst part? Year after year, this curriculum has been contributing to a record-breaking illiteracy rate, leaving over 32 million people in this country today labeled as officially illiterate. And believe me when I say, by the end of this video, you'll have everything you absolutely need to ensure your child is never counted as one of the 32 million and growing. Now, let's get back to the problem with how English is still being taught after all these years. First off, your child's shown an image of an apple. Then below that, the word apple. Have you ever seen something similar to this before? Maybe even learned English this way yourself as a child? That's because this was introduced in 1930 and is called a sight word. The reason sight words will destroy your child's chances of quickly and easily learning English is this. You're actually programming your child to learn words as a whole, and in their mind, they see something that looks a lot like this. When you think about it, this isn't learning to read at all. It's in fact more like memorizing words as shapes. Children using this method only go on to get even more confused when they're confronted with two different word shapes that look similar to each other. For example, word shapes like guy and buy, or now and wow. I knew there had to be a better way of teaching your child English than this, making it my sole purpose in life to create something different, new, and that would ensure my son quickly got his grades up by the end of the year. Something that would turn the tables on the school board and make it so you never have to worry about your child's success in school again. That's when it hit me. If you've ever been around a baby at all, you can agree that they soak up language like a sponge. It's almost like they can't help themselves. They're little language learning machines. But babies don't study grammar rules, take vocabulary tests, or sit in a classroom to learn how to speak. In fact, we don't teach babies to speak at all. We just expect them to do it, learning by what humans have been doing for thousands and thousands of years. Listening. It was after tirelessly digging up endless research on how babies naturally learn to speak that I'd actually stumbled upon the powerful reading solution I'm about to show you. I asked myself this question: could it just be possible that if babies learn to speak from listening to words, children can learn to read by listening to letters? Let me explain. Instead of teaching your child to read the word as a whole, what if we separated each letter, then taught the sounds of each letter that make up the word? For example, dog becomes D-O-G, and then is sounded out da-o-ga, with the sounds quickly strung together to make the complete sound of the word dog. Using this very knowledge, I would then go on to spend several weeks expanding on this idea and creating even more advanced theories on how to quickly teach any child to read. Just over 1 month later, I had a very rough step-by-step reading system, completely different from anything that's been put out there to date. There was just one issue. I had no idea for sure if it would work. For just 3 nights a week, I set 15 minutes aside to sit down at the table with my 6-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter, both having them follow the exact same reading system I'd created. By the end of the first week using my system, things started to just really click for my son, and for the first time ever, I could see the excitement in his eyes and hear it in his voice when he would start reading words right off the page, all without a single hesitation. But even more shocking, by this time, my 2-year-old daughter was now already reading at the same level as my 6-year-old son. Considering my son and daughter were polar opposites in completely every way, with nearly 4 years difference